Oh, you're good. Okay, my apologies. All right, we'll call the meeting to order. John Pettis, Brian Bond, Miles Davidson present. It was properly posted on March 31st.
I told you it would happen.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so we have Pastor Manning with us today. He is going to do the prayer. He is the founding pastor of Obedient to the Vision God. Oh, I'm sorry. That's when you show up late. Founding Pastor Theodorus Manning Sr. is obedient to the vision God planted in his heart to start Divine Wisdom Worship Center located in Midwest City, Oklahoma, approximately 20 years ago. Pastor Manning is a member of the Oklahoma County Criminal Justice Advisory Council and is the leader of TASK. And I know firsthand the work Pastor Manning has done in the community. He's a big believer in diversion as opposed to incarceration for nonviolent offenders. And it's a pleasure to have you here, Pastor. And would you lead us in prayer and also the Pledge of Allegiance?
Amen. Let us pray. Eternal God, our Father, God, as we bow in humble submission to you, oh God, we first ask for your presence in this room. Father, I pray over our county commissioners, God, whatever their needs are, whatever their concerns are. Father, I pray that you would meet each and every one of them at the point of their need. Father, I pray for those of us that are here in support in this room. Lord, I understand that some are dealing with medical issues and health issues. So, God, I pray for healing in Jesus' name. I pray, God, that you would give us all sound mind and divine protection. Now, God, I submit before you the issues that are on the agenda today. God, you said in your word, let us come boldly to the throne of grace that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help us in our times of need. So, God, I submit every concern on the agenda this morning. I pray for continual blessings upon these men and women that serve here in Oklahoma County. Oh, God, give them protection. Let no weapon formed against them prosper. Endow them with your divine wisdom and your supernatural strength. I asked all of this in Jesus' name, and we all said, Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor. The notice of this meeting was properly posted on March 31st, and I said in roll call John Pettis, but now we have Commissioner Lowe. And is there a motion to approve the minutes of March 25th?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The blanket, no change, no change.
Motion to approve blanket.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Claims, is there a motion?
Motion to approve claims.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any individual consideration on the consent docket?
Motion to approve consent.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
District 1.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is a specific assistance agreement with Nakoma Park. The county and highway cash will be reimbursed by the county general fund for 16,092.01. The municipality, Nakoma Park, will reimburse highway cash $50,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. And I have a street agreement here with Nichols Hills. If there's no questions on Drakestone Avenue, I'll move the item.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
District 3.
Yes, Commissioners, you have before you Charlie Toy as an appointee to the Oklahoma County Criminal Justice Authority. This is the District 3 appointee. Charlie is former Detention Officer of the Year at the detention center. She's a small business owner. She owns numerous properties here in Oklahoma County. I think she would be a great addition from having operational experience within that jail, which I think is very crucial at this point. So if you guys don't have any questions, or if you, I'll make a motion to approve or appoint.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Mr. Wilkerson.
Good morning. This is a new agreement with our current software company for the Oklahoma County Pharmacy. This is just to upgrade their current software and equipment. This was included in their annual budget, just asking for your approval.
Motion to approve.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Sir. Jessica?
Good morning, Commissioners. Number 24 is an amendment and an extension agreement between the Board of County Commissioners and the Oklahoma County Public Defender's Office. It's in regards to our 781 funding, and this is an increase that we received for FY26 in the amount of, the amount that we received was $2,243,563.50. In addition, they were very gracious to allow for us to bill for the remaining of FY25. And so I have done that, and this is just an amendment so that way we could continue to fulfill the remainder of this fiscal year through June 30th. And then we'll need to revisit about our FY27 applications. Tony is here if you have any questions.
You have anything to say? Any questions? If not,
20 got off the hook. Motion to approve.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you to the public defender for being here. It's beyond my screen. Randy?
Good morning, Commissioners. The next several items here under Policy and Governance, the committee had discussed relating to preparing for the estimates of need for fiscal year 2027. And so the next few items relate to various contracts that we've had extensive conversations about. And so item number 25 deals specifically with the agreement for the senior services between the BOCC and the daily living centers. It is Policy and Governance recommendation not to renew this contract for fiscal year 2027. Just as a reminder, that contract was annually agreed upon for $163,000, and the decision was not to renew to incur some cost savings in that area because that is something that is not constitutionally obligated of the county to provide at this time.
And
What was
was,
that amount again?
It was $163,000.
with the sadness of it, I'll go ahead and move that we not renew it.
I just have one question. What kind of services were we providing with the funds that they were receiving?
Sure. Jessica, could you speak to that?
I'd be happy to. So Daily Living Centers provide services for senior adults and adults with disabilities. The services that were provided was transportation to and from the center, which allows caregivers to be able to go to work and for them to be able to have access to medical treatment during their stay. It also provides 2 meals and a snack, provides activities, programming, outings, and care medically while they're there at day living centers.
And Jessica, might be a question for Brandy. My understanding is that this was serving only 20 people.
Correct.
Is that correct? 22.
Okay, so only 20 people were provided the service at $163,000 a year.
That is correct. So the rate, coming from somebody that applied for the senior services bid when I was the president and CEO there, the rate currently is $95 per participant. They have stayed flat throughout the 5 years of receiving the bid at 70. And so it's just, 7 days a week, that is what, they're able to provide for that number of people. But do agree that right now we're focusing on, statutorily what we need to fund because of, other areas that we need to take care of at this time. And so do appreciate the support for daily living centers, but, completely understand, the will of the commissioners.
And I've spoken at length with their chairman of the board. For those who don't know, my grandpa has a memorial brick there in their memory garden right there in front because this was the entity that allowed me to be able to continue to work while I took care of my grandpa. So I have deep torn sentiment about it, but I just also recognize, as I explained to their chairman, that we're just scrambling to find dollars everywhere we can right now. So they were sad, but he understood. I'm sad.
It's a
as
tough
well.
decision.
It's hard. But if there's no other second to my motion.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Is there any opposed?
No.
Okay, it failed. So would someone care to make another motion?
Let's see. Item 20.
I'm going to motion to take that vote again.
Well, you can just take it.
To reconsider.
Reconsider.
Oh, okay.
Motion to reconsider.
Is there a second for motion to reconsider?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Would you like to make another motion?
I'm going to move the motion to terminate services for the care center. What is it?
Daily Living Center.
Yes. And I'll move that motion.
Okay.
Second.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No.
Okay, and before we move on, I just want to clarify, just for paperwork purposes, we do currently have an agreement with the Daily Living Centers through June 30. And so this agenda item was actually not renewing the contract for fiscal year 27. So just making that a clarification, that just to ensure that that was the will of the board just now.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Item number 26 is discussion and possible action to renew an agreement between the BOCC and the Oklahoma County District Attorney's Office for fiscal year 27 for an amount not to exceed $699,420.16. This is a flat rate from their contract for this fiscal year. They have not asked for an increase at all, and this is the recommendation by the Policy and Governance Committee to renew the agreement.
Motion to approve.
Is the DA's office here?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Could you tell us, first of all, thank you for your email yesterday. I'm not going to get into the what you sent, but I appreciate the email. And could you tell us what exactly we're getting with the funds that you're requesting?
Sure. We actually did a PowerPoint presentation, Commissioner, in Policy and Governance, and I can get a copy to each one of you if you need that. But what our services entail is going back to even the days of Macy forever, the county commissioners, because Oklahoma County is the largest county in the entire state, has always supplemented the DA to provide the legal services for the county. In other words, the civil litigation that is filed against the county, all of it, whether it be a tort claim, whether it be a wrongful termination, whether it be Section 1983 litigation. We, as the District Attorney's Office, represent the county in all of that. We also provide legal services to each of the elected officials, as well as the BOCC members, to allow them to, if they ever need any legal research or advisory opinions on that, we provide that service. We do all the investigations for all of the tort claims that come in. With regard to the Treasurer's Office, every single foreclosure action that is filed, where the county is a named party, or a bankruptcy that is filed where the county is a named party. We represent the county in order to ensure that we are able to collect the ad valorem taxes that are owed and due, and go out there and make sure that those are collected and do not get overlooked in foreclosure sales. We do provide dedicated staff members. Currently, you have 4 dedicated attorneys in the DA's office that we, as a full-time unit, even sometimes more than that, represent the county and all of the county's business. With regard to the Section 1983 litigation that is pending against the jail where the BOCC is still a party, our office represents the county and all of that. And those are multi-million-dollar litigation cases that take 2 or 3 years. And as my presentation represented to the advisory board, and I don't have those numbers with me today, and I apologize for that, but we have provided services. We did 852 requests for legal services last year for the county. That, if you took an average billable attorney hour, and that's the average according to, you can go on websites and look at the average attorney salary in 2025 for an attorney in Oklahoma was $278 an hour. We averaged $812 per request for legal services. And that is including that is flat across the board. That is all of the legal services. That's $812 is what you're paying per request for legal service that is submitted to us. That is less than 3 hours of attorney time per request. And as you can imagine, the litigation does take longer than that. Even reviewing a tort claim takes longer than that if it's done correctly. So that's the services that you're providing. And, we give legal counsel, we give legal advice, and we are here and available for you and are able to dedicate staff for that. If we don't get this type of funding, that, our salaries do come from the DAC, the District Attorneys Association. They do pay the attorney our salaries in that area, but those salaries, the majority of the DA's time is spent providing criminal prosecutorial services to the county. And if this contract is not funded, that hurts our office because it takes money away that we would have been, it would take away 5 prosecutor positions basically on the other side. And that creates a public safety concern for DA Bahena because each one of our attorneys right now handle about 300 cases a piece. So taking away 5 positions would put an additional strain on the DA's primary focus and job for the county, which is criminal prosecution.
Yeah, and I'm in favor of the funding. The other question I have is historically, the DA's office would also represent the jail. Is that correct?
When the jail is operated by the sheriff, the DA's office represents all elected officials and represents that. We did have a joint contract when the jail trust came into place. The DA did provide representation on that contract. Individuals from the DA's office have now gone over to the jail, and so that contract has been canceled, and they're providing their own internal representation on those Section 1983 because they can, because the jail trust is a separate public entity.
That's what. Okay.
But if and I think this is where you're going, if and historically, when I call this my second tour of duty at the DA's office, I was in the civil division and also did representation of Sheriff Wetzel and PD Taylor when I was here before, because the sheriffs at that time operated the jail, and we did defend all of the jail litigation through the DA's office on the civil contract.
So if the sheriff's department were to run the jail, all departments would merge, correct? You would now represent the jail as opposed to them having their own counsel.
Well, the jail, my understanding is Tommy Johnson does have general counsel, but we would work with general counsel with regard to providing those services and working that out, and splitting up the work with regard to that, like we do with all the other elected officials that have general counsel. I mean, there are other officials that have general counsel. The DA still primarily, whenever it comes to litigation and walking in a courtroom and presenting a case, the DA is there and available for all the elected officials in that capacity if they choose to, or they can use, if they have their own counsel and are allowed by statute to have their own counsel, they can choose to do it that way. But we usually work that out, and we have in the past. When the sheriff has had his own general counsel, we still represented.
Yeah.
We had that arrangement.
Yeah, and I understand the sheriff having his own general counsel, but I'm talking specifically about the counsel that the jail has right now. As far as you would take their place as far as representing the jail.
I really can't speak to that. I mean, obviously, the staff that is over there at the jail, they obviously could be brought on or transferred over. I can't speak to that. I can only speak to traditionally that the DA's civil division has represented. If the jail was operated by the sheriff is a county elected official. According to statute, the DA represents all elected county officials in all civil litigation.
How much was that contract that was terminated between the DA's office and the jail?
I do not have the figure in front of me, but I believe it was north of $200,000, between $200,000 and $250,000. I don't have the exact figure in front of me. It was terminated by a mutual agreement of the parties in February, and we have been working with OCCJA in litigation because we have a joint defense agreement. We are still working closely with those lawyers because we have to, with regard to the litigation that is currently pending, Section 1983 litigation that is currently pending, in which the BOCC and the OCCJA are named.
Thank you. Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, Commissioners, the next agenda item, number 27, is discussion and possible action regarding the recommendation to fund the court services pretrial services contract between the BOCC and the District Attorney's Office for fiscal year 27 in an amount not to exceed $160,103.84. Now, just so you recall, the court services pretrial services contracts consisted of 3 different entities. It consisted of a contract with the DA's office, a contract with the detention center, and then a contract with team. This agenda item specifically deals with the one with the district attorney's office. The $160,000, $160,103.84 includes an additional position and equipment to support OLET services that are now being provided by the detention center. And so the thought process is to bring that service completely in-house with the DA's office, have them hire on an additional person, and then in that turn, we would not need the contract with the detention center. And so moving forward with the DA's office in this amount would also incur a cost savings of $15,000, $15,818.53, because we would no longer need the detention center aspect of this agreement.
Great. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Agenda item number 28 deals with the recommendation to not renew the court services pretrial services contract between the BOCC and the Oklahoma County Criminal Justice Authority. That total contract amount was for $114,675.45, of which is no longer needed because the district attorney's office will now provide those services.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, agenda item number 29 discusses adding a position to the Commissioner's 120 Fund for their FY27 estimate of needs. This addition is a total of, and I need to make a couple of corrections on the agenda item. The amount is not to exceed $70,000. and that is to bring on an administrative coordinator to support the county manager position. As it is currently, the support person to the county manager has been so graciously provided by District 3. This would actually move that position into the County Commissioners Fund. And then I also need to correct where it says of which a portion of this $70,000 would be offset by grant funds. That actually is not correct, so I apologize for that. Any additional stipends or bonuses or things of that nature related to this position would be paid out of grant funds. This $70,000 is more of a standard base that would be included in the estimates of needs. And then just to break that down, just for your information, the $70,000 includes $50,000 for salaries, $9,400 for benefits related to this person. It also includes $5,000 of travel, and it also includes $5,400 in miscellaneous M&O items such as parking and cell phones.
And while I appreciate District 3 has helped, and likewise, I've on different occasions lended staff to different departments who have needed help. I just think, again, with the issue of constraints on money, this is not a good time to expand the budget. Although I appreciate all the duress and workload that the county manager is under. Is there a motion, though?
I'll make a motion to approve. I think this is a vital position. The county administrator has done a lot to free up and make things run a whole lot better. As we're aware, we've had Shelley Goodnight all the way back to those individuals. We've had issues with this this position. Now that Ms. Clayton is running for office, don't do it. This position will be even more vital to keep things running as she's out and doing, you know, a bunch of her other things that she'll be doing. So I think in order to keep the county running as expediently as we are currently, I think it's vital that we put this together and keep this position in spot. So with that, I'll make a motion to approve.
I do have a question. Isn't there a person, could the county manager come up?
Sure. Thank you for allowing me to speak on this.
Yes. Do you have a person, I thought you had a person that was working with you
I do.
currently.
I do. So
Okay.
Tracy, who are behind me, has done an amazing job over the past almost a year. So she's been with me for 8 months. Commissioner Davidson was really great and his team in regards to seeing that I was working over 18 hours a day in order to try to keep up and correct a lot of the issues that we were having in regards to, you know, not having a finance person, a grants manager, not having someone to help really support our departments, especially when we've had those that have been out for extended leave. And so we've worked really hard in order to clean up our financials, including our 2010 budget, as well as just provide a lot of efficiency across all the departments in regards to our requisitioning and receiving officers. I could not have done the past 8 months without Tracy by my side. And so what we're asking for is $50,000 in order for her base salary. I have written millions in grants since I've been in this position, and we have roughly $42,000 that we're going to be able to use to offset not only a portion that we'll post for the position in
Is
order
it
to make
50
it
or
fair.
75?
It's 50. So it's $50,000 specifically to the salary that we're going to post, that we would post for anyone to be able to apply. Of course, it would be up to Tracy if that's something she would want to, you know, continue to do.
And it would be an extra $9,400 for benefits. For
Correct,
that position.
94. So the total increase to the 120 commissioner's budget would be a $70,000 increase. Back to the grant portion. So we have indirect costs that we're receiving by the AG's office, which not only offsets my salary for the work that we do in regards to compliance, but we are applying for other grants currently that will have indirect cost. And so at a base salary of $50,000, that's pretty low for an administrator, especially those that are responsible for grants and compliance. And so I would be able to use any indirect cost in order to offset that position as well as offset mine, which is something that I was really interested in doing whenever I was given the opportunity to have this position, to provide efficiency, provide communication amongst all three commissioners, and be able to support our departments and work shoulder to shoulder, boots on the ground, to make sure that we're getting everything done in a timely manner. Thank you, Commissioner Davidson. This position, of course, I am the county manager. My hours, currently I work over 8 hours a day. And so it is important for us to be able to continue to provide grant compliance. We also have ARPA dollars that will be in charge of compliance for the next 5 years after December 31st of 2026. So I do feel like, not because of me, possibly running for office, mainly because of, being a county manager and needing that support in order to provide vital services to the commissioners in the county.
Yeah, I think the compliance issue that you hit on is very important, not only for the historic aspect of the knowledge that she has in working with you, but carrying that forward as well. I think that's going to be a vital part as we, no doubt, defend the county against some of the ARPA expenditures or our grant expenditures. Those grants are always, people love to come check on compliance with those all the time. So institutional knowledge on those things, as you're aware, with the state, as we get state grants, the Attorney General will be coming down and making sure that we're compliant with these, and having a person there that knows where everything's at and knows the history and everything that we've done is going to be pretty vital.
We will, if this is voted on today, follow, standard HR practices, and this position will be posted, and we will, have interviews for the position. But I do want to show recognition for the time that Tracy has done.
I think you do a great job, and I just want to say that publicly. But I do have concerns as far as the cost at this present time and what we're facing. What about the travel expenses? Could you expound on that a little bit? You indicated, I believe it was $5,000.
Sure. The travel expenses, in regards to the increase, currently we pay the commissioner's travel, your monthly stipend out of the 2010 budget. The increase is $1,527. That was under mileage specifically. And so if we hire a position that does not have purchasing or receiving requisitioning experience, they will have to go to planning school, and so we'll have travel to wherever that is. And then also that would include, lodging for one training, meals, and then, any type of registration fees. There's been multiple times throughout the year that I would have really enjoyed to attend really important grant training for federal grants. And so I wasn't able to attend any of those trainings this year because I didn't budget for those expenses, just to be able to keep our dollars minimal in regards to this new position. And so that is what the total amount specifically to your question, Commissioner Lowe, entails. Very minimal, nothing in excess. If they have to go to, planning school, purchasing and requisitioning, I just wanted to be able to budget for that. It doesn't include any Tyler Munis training, which, I would love to be able to attend, or any other additional training that I would see beneficial for myself or the assistant to attend for the county.
Could you get close as you can to a number that the county would have to spend every year on this position?
Every year on this position, I would just have to, can you divide that?
As close as you can.
For this position specifically,
Yes.
It is $70,000. So $50,000 for salaries, increase for travel, and then parking and cell phones.
And benefits.
And benefits, yes, sir.
$70,000.
$70,000 total, including all expenses for an additional FTE.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No.
Okay, agenda item number 30. This is the third aspect of the court services pretrial services contract. This is regarding a recommendation to approve the contract between the BOCC and team for fiscal year 2027. The amount that was approved and recommended in policy and governance was $1,263,799.16. The total amount of the ask that team has put on their budget, which is a flat budget from what was approved this fiscal year, is $1,320,814.66. The methodology that the policy and governance used to come up with the 1.263 number is we essentially took the full contract amount, the 1.320, and then we applied the $163,000 savings that we would possibly incur from not renewing the Daily Living Center contract. And that brings us to the 1.263. And so if we were to approve that, the full funding of the contract would still be short $57,000, $57,015.50.
Discussion? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
And what amount? The full amount or the partial amount? Okay. Is there a second?
And you said that policy and governance discussed this and they approved the 1.263
The
number,
recommendation from policy and governance was the 1.263.
which would be over almost $100,000. What, 60, I shouldn't say almost, it's about $60,000 savings.
$57,000, $57,015.50.
We just spent 70, okay. Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Commissioner comments, District 1.
Happy filing day to the brave folks that are going to run for office this year. And I wish them the best. And for the new folks that are entering this field of politics, just know everything you do is going to be watched and scrutinized. But it's the best thing in the world as far as serving the public and helping people and seeing the difference you can possibly make. So good luck to everyone.
I'd like to thank, we have a couple of anniversaries, one of them in your office, but Randy Snow at Oklahoma County District 3, and I have to double check this because it's a difficult number to fathom of somebody staying this long at the county, but 35 years today he has been with Oklahoma County, and he's a young man. He's not an older person. He's been here since he was 18, slinging around a shovel. So, Randy, really appreciate it. Everybody else, this will be my last meeting, thankfully, and it's been nice serving here. It's been a pleasure serving District 3 and doing all the technological changes we can make. County Manager Jessica, you have far exceeded what I had hoped in that position. Hopefully the next person, as you become a commissioner, I hope, hopefully that next person can not only match you, but exceed what you've done for the county. And I appreciate that because I think that as we move forward in the growing of Oklahoma County, I think that's going to be a much more vital position, and it should be. I think as we look at modernization and streamlining county government and making us more efficient, I think that's the spot where it's going to be done. So I appreciate you serving and setting the standard there. And to my team, thanks for being there. You guys have done great. To the District 3 yard crew, thanks for going along the ride with me when I talk about crazy things like Kevlar roads and start talking about reinforced concrete bridges and wrapping bridges with carbon fiber and doing a lot of the new technological things that are not only making Oklahoma County have better roads and bridges, but making them last longer and stretching our tax dollars. Instead of a 10 to 15 year asphalt road, we're looking at a 35 plus year asphalt road. So that'll actually allow Oklahoma County to catch up with some of our deal until we're able to get a new funding source like a sales tax. That's going to be coming up soon, commissioners. I know that you've got a big issue to face with that as far as the sales tax goes. I hope you put something together like we've discussed. I think the 3/8 and then a 10% marijuana and then whatever we can get on vape, I think is going to be vital for Oklahoma County, not only the roads and bridges, but the continuation of the construction of the new jail and certainly the operations. As we saw yesterday at Budget Board, funding that thing appropriately is going to be of the utmost importance in the future. So I don't envy you in that decision, but I hope you guys make the right one and move forward. So again, to the citizens, thank you for allowing me to serve.
And I likewise want to thank my superintendent, Kenny Wallace, who is also celebrating his 35th anniversary today and is also not, in fact, he looks much younger than me. So he has done a great job, and I value his service and longevity to Oklahoma County as well. And thank you, Commissioner, for your service. And we worked together for a long time, and also your service, as I mentioned yesterday, on the jail trust. If there are no new business items, we have
Sorry, I hit motion.
Floyd Eason here to speak to us.
Thank you, Commissioners, for giving us this time to speak. I would like to turn our attention back on the clock a little bit to 2019. 2019, we had two calamities happen here in Oklahoma County. One of them was COVID that came about. We remember that well. But the other calamity that I see that's happened in this county is the organization and establishment of the jail trust. Before 2019, the Oklahoma County Jail could pass a health department inspection. Since that time, it has not passed a health department inspection. And the bad judgment, the poor management's solution was just don't let the health inspectors in the jail. That's not a solution. Now, if you're detained at Oklahoma County Jail, that should not be a death sentence. And the conditions there are atrocious. That's something that the jail trust has not been able to fix. It's not the building that's causing the problem, it's the management of the jail. And I'm here to speak out against the jail trust. We have a magnificent sheriff. I think we've got the best county sheriff that the county, Oklahoma County's ever had. And I would like to see the jail operation return to the sheriff's department. Silo his funding, make a designated funding pot to operate the jail, make a designated funding pot to operate the sheriff's department. The problem we've had in the past was the funds could be commingled. You could rob Peter to pay Paul. Make the money siloed. Everything that's earmarked for the jail, make it go to the jail. Everything for the sheriff's department, go to the sheriff's department. We've got a bright young sheriff, and I'm very, very impressed with the way he's managed his office administratively and the way he's been transparent in everything going on. And I really appreciate Tommy Johnson. I think he could do wonders managing the jail. Do away with the jail trust, give it back to the sheriff where it belongs, and let's get this place cleaned up. Thank you.
Mayor, I did learn that I guess you're retiring or
Last week.
last week. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Pastor Theodis Manning.
Well, first, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to pray this morning. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to stay, and I have a couple of concerns, commissioners, and I don't know if this is a platform or not to express it, but I feel I need to. The mayor mentioned the jail being a death sentence for some people, and in reference to our organization, Teaching and Saving Kids, our two primary focuses are violence control or reduction and behavior transformation. We've been doing it since March of '05, been in the prison system since '08. When we started this organization, Oklahoma City was Department of Corrections was #1 in the country per capita for prison homicides. We're down to number 2 now. That may not seem like a lot, but to move the needle on a national level is taking quite a bit. But that's because we've been in there consistently, even through COVID, working. When we started, Oklahoma City was number 2 in the nation for drive-by shootings. We're not even on the chart now if you Google it. Because that's why we started it. In '05, there was a rash of drive-by shootings, and it was very popular, unfortunately, to shoot people's homes up. And me and another guy, Andre Jones, started it in March of '05, and we're not on the chart now. We were number 5 in the nation, Oklahoma, for gang violence. We're not on the chart now. And Oklahoma City was number 1 in Oklahoma for gang violence in front of Tulsa and Lawton, and we were behind them both. But I checked a couple of days ago, and we're still behind Tulsa. But it's because we're working with people that's hard to reach and the ones that actually can do something about the violence. Now, the county jail, those people, over 50% of those people, if not more, are going to come back to our community and not go to prison. Even the ones that go to prison, they're going to eventually, 95% of them going to wind up back in the community. It may be 20, 30 years, but they're coming back. But the jail is the perfect place for us to do what we do, because whether they come back to the community or go to prison, we make that contact right there, and we're going to work with them either way. Now, here's my concern. We have not been able to get into the jail for 5 administrations. We've been trying since Sheriff Wetzel, and no one will let us get in there. At one point, we even offered, hey, we're not asking for money. Let us do this, because the guys are reaching out to us, asking us to come into jail. But I don't know what the problem is. I don't know what we need to do in order to do that. But we need to be in the county jail. It would be an asset to our community in our county as it relates to the violence and the deaths in the jail and prison. And then, as I close, about 2 years ago, you approved a contract for us in the juvenile center. And I don't know, maybe a year ago, maybe, I don't know if it's been that long, but our contract got terminated, and to date, we have not been notified. My notification came from former DA David Prater, called me and said, hey, did you know that they're getting ready to terminate your contract? And I said, no, when I met, and it was all due to an incident that happened outside of what we do at the juvenile center with one of the people that we were bringing in to help with the kids. And I got special permission from the juvenile center because he had open cases. They gave him special permission. He reoffended. And far as I know, that's why that they canceled the contract. But we never got notice of that. They told me in the meeting that they were not going to cancel the contract, but they were concerned with a lot of issues going on in Tulsa at that time. Again, this may not be the right platform, but I've kept my mouth quiet. I've been quiet about this, and it's not right. If you're going to cancel our contract, shouldn't we be at least notified or a reason why? And if you look at the contract, we did not violate the contract in no form or fashion according to the contract. So I want to submit those concerns to you. And if you're not the right people, point me in the right direction, because I really would like to have some answers on that. And thank you for letting me share.
Okay, other citizens to speak? If not, is there a motion to recess into executive session? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Motion to reconvene.
Yep, okay, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, action on item 33.
Yes, Commissioner, item 33 would be to proceed as discussed.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And item 34.
Yes, Commissioner, item 34 would be to provide the district attorney up to $500 for moving this to federal court.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any other citizens here to speak? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Moon River. Okay, I need to confirm.
You're in? Okay. Oh, you ready, Sharon? Okay. I'll call the PBA together. All three trustees are present. It was properly posted on March 31st. Is there a motion to approve March 25th minutes?
Motion to approve.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Is there a motion to approve the claims?
Motion approved. Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Mr. Monroe.
Item 3 is a contract between the PBA and the Oklahoma City National Memorial Foundation for special event parking, Metro 1 and 2, on the dates posted here, April 25th and April 26th, to use the parking garages for that event.
Motion to approve.
I'll
That's still
second.
free parking, correct? That's
sorry?
still free parking?
Yes,
correct?
that's right. The gates will be raised and there will be parking available for everybody who intends or wants to use the space. In exchange for this, the Memorial Foundation has agreed to pay and reimburse us for the security for the use of that space for that time.
I normally run that race every year, and I always wonder, like, can we charge?
Sure, we've been asked to offer the parking spaces for free. If you choose to do something different, we certainly can.
I'd like to make a motion to.
I don't know how much funding that would actually generate. We can look at it this year and see how many vehicles use the parking garage and assign the figures to determine what it would generate if we decided to do that. That's something we could look at.
You wanting to withdraw your motion? Okay, well, we have a motion and a second to approve with it being free. It is something I believe we've done for 20 years as a partner in the downtown community.
That's right. And after sending this agreement to the district attorney for review, we needed to come up with some consideration in exchange. And what we arrived at was the reimbursement for the security offered at that time.
You want further discussion?
I would, yes. Just to know what the numbers are and what we could possibly receive as far as revenue, I would like to know.
I don't have that information in arrears going back to last year. I would be able to guess, I think, but it would be inaccurate for sure and pointless. So if you wanted to track just what kind of additional parking we provide or is utilized for those 2 days, we could do that moving forward. Or simply deny the use of the garage for free. This could be voted down, and then those people who want to use Metro One on a cash basis certainly can.
Okay, well, there's a motion and a second to approve. And all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Item number 4 is for the use of the event room out at the Lincoln property by Clorinda Ellis. She has given us the proper information for that use. This is for a senior graduation dinner for her grandson.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item 5 is a parking spot.
Is there a motion to approve the 6 parking spaces?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any citizens to speak? Board comments or new business? If not, is there a
Motion to adjourn.
all in favor say aye. Aye.